Sorry, we'll also be waiting to give you a cup of tea, but we'll give you line. We'll do that later.
Yes, I do. Yes, not quite challenging.
Sharon is here. She'll join us.
Yes. Sharon, मुझे जो छोड़ो. This one. Can you understand?
Yes.
Can I have one without the book? Without the
No, I don't pass. I'll be very comfortable. Depends on the document.
I don't think I will be so much. Unless someone...
Can you understand? Let me have it.
जरूर चाहूँगी कि जिस तरीके से मेरे साथ
For me, every woman is empowered, every woman. Ahana Kumra, she's like a daughter to me, but now she's a star. But, I would like to welcome them with some flowers. Although my husband was saying, just don't start this, that everyone who's there on the audience, you start giving flowers. So instructions from home, he said everybody is a VIP, you tell them. But don't start that your half program goes only in giving flowers. So with instructions. He's the trustee of the NGO, so the check and all come from him. So I can't deny him. That's one more thing. We work from our funding. 5 years, whatever we've done, it will be there in the book. It is done from what I earn, because that is what I thought. That when I'm resigning from the IAS, I have 15 years of service left. Whatever I will earn, I will see to it that it goes back to the women. And hence, I think we have.
Thank you, Mrs. Aba. I hope मैं उम्मीद करती हूँ कि आपकी किताब. Before moving on, I'd also like to mention that the documentary screened at the beginning is. And as a student of this course, myself, I'm proud to be a part of it too. We went out to talk to women about safety issues in Mumbai, and our findings were indeed surprising. I hope you enjoyed it and found it enlightening. All those who missed this documentary can catch a glimpse of it once again at the end of the event. Now, to evaluate the challenges of women's safety in Mumbai further, we bring to you a panel discussion where empowered women hold court to come up with potential solutions. Mrs. Ava has already won. We have this lady whose urban debates have moved us and whose Twitter handle very confidently states that she's not afraid to be a feminist. Ladies and gentlemen, Faye D'Souza. We also have with us the bold and the beautiful, whose role as Leela in Lipstick Under My Burqa has challenged stereotypes. Boys and girls, young and old, we bring to you this panel discussion where we can talk more about the
Hindi bolo, Hindi. Excuse me.
अच्छा दोनों चलेंगे.
वैसे तो हिंदी बोलने में थोड़ी सी दिक्कत होती है. I'm from Bangalore. I can speak 4 South Indian languages, but I'm learning to speak Hindi now. So invariably we wind up taking a lot of issues pertaining to women because that's what we feel most strongly about. But I think what happens with the media a lot is that they take up an issue, it gets splashed about the papers, and then something else comes up, and it's pushed to the back of your mind, and public memories can be short. People tend to forget. And a lot of times, very heinous crimes that happen to women, if you don't take it up a week later or 2 weeks later, sometimes we've taken up issues 3 months later. saying, "Please, mere pehle ye hua." Now, what is the conclusion? Have they made an arrest? Has there been any progress? Because if you don't keep bringing it up, then it's almost like the investigation starts to gather dust. There's no update on it. Nobody's asking. Nobody's putting pressure. People tend to forget about it. And I believe that that's the worst thing you can do to the survivor or the victim or the family in that particular case, is to collectively forget. Then it's our collective responsibility to ask that question, to keep poking at something, which is run our.
There are 2 chairs here, please come. Every one of you, please make a place for yourself. I would be very happy. So, now what I feel about Mumbai, why we took up this topic? How safe is Mumbai? When we were doing this, I talked to Carol and we said, let's do this documentary, because I always felt that Mumbai is no longer as safe as it used to be. I've been in Mumbai since '91 and now
our first interview was with Faye, and I feel very happy about the fact that, you know, our first interview was with her, because she really resonates with the idea of women being free in a free world. You know, we imagine that we are free, but we are not as free as we think we are. You know, I'm from Lucknow, and I remember my mother used to not let me go out of the house after 6 o'clock. If there was no male cousin or no male bhaiya or no male uncle, like, you know, accompanying us to even go to Hazratganj, it was impossible. We moved from Lucknow to Bombay in 1997. And I remember writing to my best friend, I said, listen, I can play outside in my building till 9 o'clock, and my mother did not say no. And I cannot tell you how I sensed that freedom. That has been the biggest gift and the biggest realization for me as a woman, as a girl child in this country, feeling that freedom and feeling so powerful that I can play with boys. My mother did not say, like, she didn't say no to me. I was not asked to come home at 6 o'clock. I was like, wow, this is like the best. And my girlfriends all in Lucknow wrote back to me. They're like, what? You can play outside till 9 o'clock? And I was like, yeah, it's huge for us, you know. You can't imagine that kind of life because you all are from Bombay, most of you all. So, you know, for anyone from another city, especially a smaller city apart from Bombay, that freedom is it's just something else. I'm still getting goosebumps because of that. Now with lipstick, because I think somewhere it's very deep-rooted because my mother has worked in a very unconventional field. She has been with the CBI in Mumbai. She was with the police. She's brought up 3 children in a city like Lucknow. My father primarily used to live in Moscow. So they've lived away from each other for years, till my father once decided, and he called her up and said, ki, isse pehle ki, like, you know, all the kids start calling me uncle, like, let's just move to Bombay, please. You know, we can all live like a family together. So we moved to Bombay, and obviously he couldn't deal with the children and the noise and everything. But, you know, I think all these unconventional choices have happened because of my mother. And I'm eternally grateful to her. Today I'm an actor because of her, because she somewhere realized at a very young age that I wanted to act, because I used to always stand in front of the mirror and make faces and do everything that I could, but I never had it in me to tell her that I really wanted to pursue a career. My mother's in the police, my father's in pharmaceuticals, for heaven's sake. If I go and tell my parents I want to be an actor, it's just unheard of, you know. It's a very unconventional choice, but I think because she took my hand and she was like, okay, listen, we go to FTII and I'll get your admission done. And I did film school, I studied theatre. I have been working with Nasiruddin Shah for years, with Ratna Pathak Shah. They've been my mentors. So I think I've had such strong forces behind me all my life, and that's why these unconventional forces have helped me make the decisions that I have regarding the work that I've taken up. It has taken very long to be where I am right now, because work for women in our film industry doesn't come very easily. So, of course, about my bold choice in lipstick, it wasn't a choice. I was given a script. And my director asked me very upfront. She's like, listen, it's a really strong role. You know, read it, and are you going to be able to do it? So I said, yeah, I'll try. But I don't think I put too much thought in it. I just saw that the film was about 4 women. Women who had voices of their own, who had, inner lives and inner desires. And they just wanted to, within those little boundaries, they wanted to explore their lives. And I think that happens with most of us. Women don't tend to vocalize what we want to do or what we do, but we have a certain rebellion in all of us. That's why today, Faye, where she is, Abha auntie is doing, you know, she's working so hard for women. So there are very few of us who are really trying to push the boundaries. And if none of us make films like this, if none of us, communicate to our audiences that, there are stories like these. Nobody will tell these stories. So I think that was my biggest reason for taking up lipstick and taking up this role.
Faye, you saw that movie?
Yes.
She says, I'm married to a person from Rajasthan and I can't expect that this is what is happening in the state. So that is the spirit. I feel every one of us can be an activist. I'm not the only activist lawyer. I think all of us are activists. In our own way, we can make a change. So I would like you first to speak what you want to. You said, no, I'm going to put up my views, because the moment she reached Nagpur and she said, oh my God, what's happening in Rajasthan, I'm going to express my views. So there's a little detour and we are going to ask you to speak.
Okay, my God. I actually asked you, कि हुआ क्या था?
ये हुआ था कि आपको आज बोलना पड़ेगा.
No, I had just reached Nagpur and I saw this entire thing happening on news with the news on silence, so I couldn't understand what was happening. There's always been so much said about protection and how women should be given a right to do what they want to do. And then you have a love jihad. I don't really understand the concept, because when you talk about forcing a woman or kind of getting her mind involved into conversion on the basis of falling in love, I don't understand how that could happen. And then that she would be forced to follow a different religion is beyond me. Because I truly believe that what you eat, the way you dress, and who you pray to is a total prerogative that depends on a person to person. I don't think anyone else should be allowed to rule that portion at all. So I actually had called up Abba to say, "Ye ho kya raha hai?" Someone can actually commit a murder and televise it. You know, that is scary. In our country, that is truly extremely scary for that to be happening, because even when the Padmavati issue happened, and I said someone could actually make a threat and announce it to the world and roam about scot-free, you know, that it's okay making a threat and no one doing anything about it, was like scary that we could be living in a country and today stands like that. So, I mean, you should continue with what your discussion was.
No, it is, you know, it's giving Faye some idea. So now my next question is with Faye. How do you see, जो दिशा होगी महिलाओं के empowerment की, safety की, you who has been keeping a tab हर जगह, your channel is now going pan-India, you are there in Gurgaon, everywhere I see your people and you know they're covering. Do you feel कि अभी जो NCRB के figures आए हैं, they say Mumbai and Maharashtra, where crime is concerned, is now number 2 after Madhya Pradesh. So, are we also going to become Bimaru in some time? So, what is your take on that? How do you,
And what I love about the book that we're talking about today, I think we can all contribute towards that, because there's empowerment needed on various levels. Like, I've met women in my social circle who don't know that the police cannot stop you and do a normal nakabandi if they don't have a female constable with them. Like, the normal Mumbai police cannot interact with you at all if there isn't a female constable present, and that's just the rules. And so many women don't know this. You don't know these basic, and I can see you all nodding at each other because some people know, some people don't know. And it's empowerment is simply about information, which is what you're doing with this book, which is what she did with the film, which is what you did with what you just said. It's about information, and women need information at every level, whether we're talking about UP, whether we're talking about those girls in the trains who said, yeah, I got groped, I don't know if I'll go to the police, I don't know if I should complain, I don't know under what section of the IPC we should file this complaint. Somebody else, I remember on that documentary, said, if someone older than me accompanied me to the police station, then I would file a complaint. So it's about the fact that women need to be given confidence. And a lot of times confidence comes from what you know. So if you know for sure these are your rights, from someone who is in jail to someone who's just taking the train, if you know that these are your rights, if you have someone who's telling you, for example, that just yesterday the Supreme Court said a woman, it cannot be assumed
that once a woman is married, she's automatically taken her husband's religion. It is her right to choose what she wants to believe. We have to keep reiterating these things through everything that each of us does. I mean, you will have people who work with you at your workplace, in your home, who don't know their rights. And I believe that that's the step. With every generation, we go one step further and one step further. Our mothers fought a certain battle, and now it's our generation that has to take that battle forward, and our daughters will have a completely different battle to fight. So within our, what I call our circle of influence, which is the number of people you reach every day, the number of people you interact with, if we can pass on information about rights to women, saying this is your right, nobody can force you to do this, nobody can ask you to do this, you can complain, you can do this, you can do that, and one step further would be, I'll come with you. Isn't just empowering through information, and that's what, and over the years, women have been, like Bhagishri said, women have been kept away from information. When you stay in the house, you stay in the kitchen, you're kept away from information, you're kept away from decisions, you're kept away from empowerment. All we need to do is reverse that.
Can I add to this? Is that I think the education not only starts with having books like this, but it starts from home. It starts from all of us being parents, being able to teach our children that this is what we have the right to do. I come from a family where we are 3 daughters, and I do not have a brother, and my parents have always taught me to stand up for my rights. And it would be very strange for all of you to even know this, that soon after Maine Pyar Kiya, yes, I got married and I had my babies. When I was pregnant with my daughter, I'd taken my son and my nephew for a children's play in the afternoon in Sophia's auditorium. And it was one of those plays with the psychedelic lights, and everything was dark. And in a group of audience that had only mothers, grandmothers and their children, there was a man that came and sat right behind me. And he tried to grope me. And I was 8 months pregnant with my daughter. And I had caught his hand, turned round, beat him, stopped the entire auditorium, had the lights switched on, and I had both these kids clinging onto my dupatta saying, Mama ghar chalo, Mama ghar chalo. But I was like, intent, I said, how could they allow a single man inside a theater? So when he came with a ticket, now that becomes a thing that we all need to understand, that security starts from all levels. I thought it was the onus of the theater owner to make sure that the right kind of security was there for all the mothers and for all the children who were coming and watching the play. So I had him running out and saying, "Nahi, aap usse chhod do, ye maafi maang raha hai." So he was like literally catching my feet and begging me to go. So I said, no, but he needs to be taken to the police. He needs to be understood. To pura uska number or sab maine le liya. Obviously at that time there weren't mobile phones, so I called up my husband and I said, ye ho gaya mere saath. So he said, okay, take down his number, and you can't probably hold him by the collar and take him to the cops, so we'll do what is necessary. After I reached back home, my husband actually asked me, Ki, do you really want to pursue this? You know, it might come out in the press and stuff like that. And I said, who cares? People should know. I mean, why would they do it to any woman? And I'll stand up for it. So we actually went to the cops. The cops went and got the man out of his house. He stayed in a chawl, made sure his wife knew, made sure that all the people from the chawl knew that he actually does something like this. Got them to the police station, got an FIR registered. Of course, we didn't pursue the case because the wife really apologized and all that. But what I mean to say is, when you start off something, take it to its conclusion. Please do not leave it halfway through. And I think it starts off from home. My parents have always taught me to be strong and to follow what I believe in. And a similar funny incident happened in school when I was called, not for my son, but for my daughter, when the teacher complained that she is misbehaving in school. So I was like, my daughter misbehaving in school? Kya hua? She was ready to beat up this guy. And I said, hello, what happened? Saying, no, he was saying some bad words, and I'm not going to tolerate bad words. So I looked at the teacher and I said, it's all right, it's okay. She needn't behave like a girl, and she has to stand up when she feels that someone's doing her wrong. I And I believe that. And I believe all of us should do that as parents, because that's the only way that we can take it forward.
Lovely. I think we must. This is the spirit of Mumbai, which I was asking. That we. That's how we. Do you think Mumbai is safe when you come late? Or you said at 9 you could. You see a difference from that when you came till today? Now be honest about it, because so many people in the documentary have said no, we are not so safe. Actually, there is something called in the film line. Do you get something, proposals or something which you feel say no? And is there at any time you felt, I don't want to use that word, but have you ever felt that it exists?
Of course it exists. I don't think it only exists in the film line, it exists in every profession. I have a lot of friends in the law, I have a lot of lawyer friends, I have a lot of friends in marketing, I have a lot of friends in advertising, I have a lot of friends from every various profession, and I have heard stories from them firsthand about how, they have to face these kind of issues. And they're like, just because tum film line mein ho, isliye, like, ye cheez bahar aa jati hain. So I think most of the times we hear of that. I have traveled by local train all my life, and I still travel because we have a lot of plays in NCPA. It's very irritating to travel by car every day to NCPA, and I take the train very often. I remember once a similar incident had happened with me. Now that's another thing, because I know that my mother's a cop. I get away with a lot of things, and that's a thing that I've practiced since I was a child. Because anybody used to misbehave with me in school, also I used to be like, "मैं तुम्हें जेल में डाल दूँगी," you know. So that was like my takya kala. My mother, in fact, like after a point, she was like, "Please, Ahana, stop doing these things." So I stopped. So I always like, and I always do this. तू जानता नहीं मेरी माँ कौन है, you know. So that's been like my takya kala, like forever. So I remember once I was traveling back from college, and and there was this boy who just brushed past me and he touched my breasts, and I was just like, did he just touch me? Like, did he just like touch me? And I ran after him, and I caught him, and I gave him like 2. मतलब मैंने धरे उसको 2. And then he hit me back. So I was like, oh shit, he hit me back. So I ran after him again, and then there was this cop like seeing this whole chase happening on the road. And he was like, what just happened? So I got him and I gave him like 3, 4, and I like kicked him and everything, and did everything that was possible in my capacity to, like, I think something happens to you when you're, things like this. I'm sure you are. So, I caught him, and I said, and I told the cop, I said, इसने मुझे छुआ. So the cop said, कि छुआ? मैंने कहा, हाँ छुआ, और खराब जगह पे छुआ है. So उसको बिठाओ अभी, auto में. So he put him in the auto. And I took him to the police station, which is DL Nagar police station. I remember calling up my mother, and I said, listen mom, this boy has touched me. I'm going to file an FIR against him, and मैं इसको अंदर डालूंगी. And that boy could not stop crying. He like, गलती हो गई दीदी, this, that. मैंने कहा, दीदी? Did you just call me didi? You just touched me like motherfucker. Like, it was literally like that. And I don't know, and I think I must have been only 18 at that time when I did this, And my mother came to the police station, we lodged an FIR. He had an exam the next day. He was studying BSc or something. And I remember he had an exam and he had to miss his exam because he was in the police station, and I did not take the compliment. In fact, my mother said, she's like, do you really want to do this? Poor thing, he has an exam. I said, I don't care. He touched me, okay? He's got to be in the police station. I don't care. He misses his exam or whatever happens to him. He should know that he cannot do this to another girl ever in his life. Yeah. But he's not for an exam. He must have been frustrated. I don't know what happened to that guy. I don't know what was he smoking. I don't know what was wrong with him. I'm like, how can you touch a girl inappropriately and think it's okay and then call her Didi? Yeah, right? So, yeah. But my mother told me that. She's like, Ahana, you do all these things because you know your mother's a police officer. And I told my mother, I said, you know what, mom? Even if it's not, even if it wasn't for you, I still think I would have done it. Because I don't think I should like hold myself back because some guy decided to inappropriately touch me. So these are some values that have been inculcated in me since childhood. And as Tay very rightly said, it's information. I think what happens with most of us when we are growing up is that, अरे तुम लड़कियों मत करो, अरे तुम लड़कियों तुम बाहर मत जाओ, अरे तुम लड़कियों ये मत करो. So this whole idea, it's a very deep-rooted conditioning that we all have faced all our lives.
Even in the documentary, there were some people who said, हम जैसे behave करेंगे, सामने वाला वैसे हमें treat करेगा. No, dude, no.
that's not how it is. It has absolutely nothing to do with what you're wearing, what you're doing, what you're, where you are at that point. It happens in the most ridiculous places, like your story.
I mean, an 8 month pregnant woman.
Yeah.
And yeah.
And and every woman knows this feeling, is that as soon as you have been groped or touched or molested in the wrong way, even looked at in the wrong way, there's this feeling at the pit of your stomach. It's cheap, it's dirty. Talking about the abuse that is seen. There's a lot of abuse that is not seen.
I'm sure then your place can be used by somebody else to sit. Back there.
I will fight for it.
There's a chair there. Somebody can take Swapna's chair.
If it's a man, I'll fight for it.
Okay, that's it.
Well, basically, what I was trying to say is that we talk about abuse that is seen. There's a lot of abuse that is not seen. Being a clinical psychologist, I deal with people who come up with an abuse which they do not have a proof of. Like, for example, I have a client who comes to me. She is 10 years old. Her father is a police officer himself. And she goes for a tuition class. And the teacher is watching porn while he's teaching. And through the spectacles, she has been seeing that porn. And she came back home and she is not able to sleep. She went back to YouTube and tried to see what he was seeing. And now she is addicted to it. She's sleepless. She is angry, agitated all the time and irritated. She had not shared this with the parents. She was just angry. And when she came to me after maybe 3-4 counselings, I figured out that it's something about the teacher. And then the teacher is doing some inappropriate actions, touching at his places, but it affects the child. So this kind of abuse has no proof. And what do you go and complain about? There's another thing I would like to share. There's a VP in HDFC, a big post, a big lady. She comes up to me with a Gucci bag and nice goggles, and she takes them off, and there's a black circle here because her husband is beating her. And the only thing she tells me is that I am waiting for him to file a divorce. I don't have the guts to go against him. Or maybe I do not want to take the tag of I did it. Another story I would like to share is a friend of mine who is again my client. She was abused by an Ola driver in a very weird way. There was no touch, again, no proof. But then he was watching her through the mirror, and the way he was stopping the car in the middle, weirdly, she basically reached home, but it affected her a lot. Now what she does is she checks the face of the driver. When you get a message, she would look at the driver's face. Oh, ye theek lagta hai. Then I will go with this man. I said, if my Aadhaar card photo is put on an Ola cab thing, you will never ride with me. So, you cannot judge people by their faces. But there is trauma. I believe that while we are talking about the abuse that is seen, like being touched, we need to do something about the abuse that is not seen also. We must educate people to understand what is abuse first. Because some people just cannot identify stupidity and abuse. The moment ladies know that this is abuse, they will learn to find out the rights against them. For example, if somebody is just behaving bad with me, watching me all the time, trailing me, following me, what do? He is not touching me. If I go to the police and say that...
But stalking, now the lawyer here.
Stalking
is the new
Correct.
Criminal Law Amendment Act which has come. But that is what, again, in the books 3 Dasha, which I have tried to explain in Hindi, that it is not chalta hai ki koi aapke piche aa gaya.
Correct. This has to be known by people.
Definitely.
One, I think there are 2-3 points. One is to identify what is abuse. 2 is to know what you can do about it. And 3, to have the courage to do it. That's all. Thank you so much.
So I think this girl child who is going for tuition is something.
My place is safe. Because again, this is another thing that we've picked up on the channel that a lot of other channels are not doing. And that's safety for children. Because we've now, like you said, the numbers of crime
are scary.
And the nature of the crime, the stories are just horrifying. And a lot of people don't know this. When we talk about crime against children of a sexual nature, of under POCSO, people believe you have to protect your little girls. You have to protect your little boys also. Half more than half of that crime happens against little boys.
That child who was murdered.
Yes, yes.
Older boy did it for an exam, postponing an exam.
I mean, we still don't know the complete details of that investigation, what the motive was. That's still being looked at. But I'm talking about things like what happened with that tuition teacher. So much of that happens with small boys, and they can't talk about it because mothers or parents tend to protect the little girls, right? They'll say, "Acha, apne bhaiya ke saath jao, kisi ke saath jao." They'll ask them, "Were you okay? Did anybody misbehave?" We ask our daughters that a lot. We don't ask our sons. You assume that boys can go and nothing will happen to them. The boys can go to this tuition. Don't cry. Yeah. And so they internalize a lot more. So this unseen abuse happens to little boys a lot more. And I think that the solution here is just through information. Parents need to know. Parents need to know that the sweeper, the bus conductor, the driver, the tuition teacher, any of these people could be sexual predators.
Even family members.
Even family members. So you have to be so careful. There was a beautiful film called Monsoon Wedding. I don't know if you remember it. And there was this one scene in that film where the father says, "I will protect these children from myself if I have to." And I think that is something that we need to remember. As parents, you have to protect your children from everything. Because I don't know actually if this was what it was like when we were children and we just didn't know about it, or we weren't talking about it enough.
But we were told not to talk about it also. It was kept under the wraps. Yeah, Nazni, even Sharon is somewhere here. Yeah, you know, she took up somebody's case, and I'm really happy. Of course, you're not disclosing identities, but she called up Mrs. Satish Sahni, husband used to be police commissioner. So now
I want to add two
to
things.
empower more women.
I've been writing a column on this for a long time, and I feel there are two things I want to add, Abha, and of course the esteemed panel. You know, we talk about empowering women, we talk about abuse, we talk about the law, but one thing that no one really brings to the fore is value systems. We need to integrate value systems at a very young age, not only for girls but for boys. We don't only have to educate little girls about their protection and not talking to strangers, not going out, you know, sending bhaiya ke saath bhejo. But the most important thing is for mothers to teach young boys about respect for women. And think of the impact that would have when you grow up. Think of what would happen when the boy at such a nascent level subliminally understands that he has to respect women and not look at sex. And, you know, because a lot of politicians say, you know, this rape happened because she was dressed badly. Rape is not an act of sex. Rape is an act of violence. Of violence. It's first violence. And that has to be educated at a very young age. All of us have to understand that we don't, have to accept abuse. But a man has to recognize that he not only has to respect his mother, but also other women. And the second point I want to make, Abha, you just alluded to the fact that I take women to the police station. I try to get them help. You talk about lawyers and legal aid. I want you to educate us as to what I often face. You know, women come to me for help, women who want a divorce, men misbehaving. Mrinalini, I recently brought that girl to you. The police is very abysmal to these women. They say bring proof. Now please tell me how a woman is going to bring proof of a man hitting her at night. So this recent case I'm dealing with, which I brought to Mrinalini, and she pro bono very kindly always handles these cases, is that this woman is being beaten by this man regularly. He takes women to hotels, and now he wants a divorce for the third time because he feels that he's tired of this woman. How does a woman get the cops to take cognizance and take a woman seriously? Finally, this woman had to go to the commissioner of police as usual. And until you have that quote-unquote sifarish, nothing really moves. So, Abha, why don't you tell us how to take this particular point further and how to get the police to act?
Yeah, I think this is the most important part, getting efficient police help, efficient support, and a person who's honest. Because usually what happens is when a woman goes to complain, everybody gets on the job that let's knock off money if the man is rich or whatever. So it is necessary that where NGOs like Run Summer or NGOs like Brijesh Arya is sitting there from Pehchan. Brijesh, please stand up. He works for all the pavement dwellers. So they are the ones, the whole day they sit in the police station. You know, every pavement of Mumbai, he knows who lives there, which girl is being raped, molested. They take them to the police station. So that is where, to make the police accountable, we need people, all of you who have taken out time to come here, means you feel that you feel Mumbai has to be made safe. We have to help out our children, our girls. So that is where, and police also would also do it. When you pressurize them, when you know you're not going to leave it like that, they have, when you were talking about that, I remember that singer who was going and the police said, you come to the police station, Vadera or something.
But they don't like to lodge an FIR.
Yeah, see, but you know,
They're very afraid of doing an FIR until you pull strings. There is no way.
I think then we are going to use Mrs. Satish Sahni over here.
I have one word to say. I think things are changing. We are having far too many police officers now, lady police officers, who are doing an immensely good job. And they are definitely, you know, now people are approaching them directly, like the police commissioner in Pune. She's a lady and she's a downright, very honest and very true policeman to the cop. And they are following the rules, they are following the code. But more than often,
or Telugu, they're not even going to listen to you. And the switch of how they receive you as soon as they realize that you can speak the local language. I mean, imagine if you can't. I mean, I've learned Marathi after I moved to Mumbai, but I get so. Imagine if you live in Bangalore and you can't speak Kannada. How are you going to? Yes.
They give you a different look on
Yes.
when
Yes.
you start speaking in Marathi.
Yeah, you're one of them. You're one of their own. So, but I have experienced this. I remember when we were very young reporters and we used to go to PHQ a lot, and they used to actually tell us, "Madam, 6 baj gaye, aap log please chale jao." Like, don't hang around the cop station after 6 o'clock. We're not allowed to have you here. It's 6. Now please go. Come back tomorrow if you haven't gotten what you wanted. But they're always respectful, and in comparison, I think that it's important to compare like and like. In comparison to what happens in other states, I'm not saying there isn't room for improvement, but the Mumbai police is by far the most respectful of women. Then that's just true.
I also feel that law has to be changed right from the ground level where women are concerned, because when we are speaking about crime against women, unfortunately a lot of cases come up where women take advantage of a situation like that, and they say, well, we've been molested over 2 years or 3 years, or we've been raped over 3 years. Why? Because a man has promised them marriage and then not gotten married. So technically you've had an affair, and then the affair is broken up, and then you choose to malign the man publicly. So I feel that is ridiculous, because it's consensual on both sides. So things like that have to be.
From the film industry are speaking on such critical issues.
But that means that the law has to be changed at the very ground level.
That is where I wanted to tell, where the police and the lawyers, everybody starts taking money, because in that consensual relationship, you say rape and then you say take back the case, and big money exchanges hands.
No, see, I agree that there's something horribly wrong with our legal system when promising marriage and not marrying is in the same category as being violated and being violently raped. It has to be separated. The way we've written those laws is wrong, and the fact that given the numbers of crime against women in our country and the manner in which these crimes are, they are horrifying. The fact that this legal loophole actually makes us stop and say, but what if it's a false complaint?
Yes, and
it drives me crazy that we allow that at all.
There was a recent report just released 2 to 3 days ago saying actually the false cases are only something.
The reason why the Me Too campaign has become so relevant in today's time.
But
it is relevant.
After 25 years, if people are coming out and they have done it, what they have done it 25 years back.
But you know, I'll tell you something. You know what? It is relevant because people are accepting. And you know what? When my wall was flooded with women, suddenly, like one day I opened my
advantage as well, because if you see in Hollywood what's happening, after 25 years actresses are coming out and talking about it. That time they did it because they wanted to do it, and now today they
So I think, Savita, you will not get many people to agree, because today we are hardcore feminists, but I know you are.
Is she saying
Yeah,
that
what
by
she's
not
saying,
coming out,
yeah.
by not coming out and by not speaking about it, are you saying that would help?
No, but
So if she speaks about it, no, I'm just saying that.
Okay, I'm really good at this. One at a time, please. One at a time.
Yeah, there she has to take her role now.
Okay, go on. What do you have to say?
after 25
That's the way.
or 30 years, actresses come. I mean, they are irrelevant in their careers, so they're using it.
I don't believe you're right.
You know,
I respectfully disagree with you.
Savita is the producer of Khosla Ka Ghosla. She's coming with the other movie, and she's in this film industry. So what she says would carry some,
The Me Too campaign was hang on. No, it's not about them being quiet for 25 years. I'm just talking about the Me Too campaign, and the Me Too campaign is not only relevant to the film industry. It is relevant to each and every woman or man present in this country, in this world, on this globe. Because when the Me Too campaign started, it wasn't only women from the film industry. When I opened my wall, and I do not have a lot of friends from the film industry, my wall was flooded with people saying Me Too, and I was like, oh my God, it has not happened to me only. It has happened to this girl who studied with me. It has happened to that girl who sat with me next to me in college. She sat next to me. She looked absolutely normal. But it has happened to her. It has happened to me. It has happened to my sister. It has happened to everybody. We're not talking about,
They're taking names. So if they're taking, you take names.
That's the reason why the Time magazine has come with a photograph with an elbow in the middle. Have you seen the photograph on the Time magazine? And that really gave me the goosebumps. And I was just discussing that with Faye today. I said there are lots of people who do not have the face, who do not have the courage to even say it. But the fact that everybody is accepting in today's times, because we are a far more vocal society now. We are very vocal, and I'm agreeing that I was sexually molested when I was growing. My sister accepts it. I'm sure there are lots of women sitting out here who were touched inappropriately. I'm sure I can give it in writing that there are women who were touched inappropriately, and I'm saying that it's not relevant only to the film industry. Please, yeah. So,
I think one more thing what is important, Mrinalini, I think you'll have to come in the front because people would like to hear what you have to say. But what I feel is at least the biggest changes, those things are irrelevant. We have a right to be happy. We have a right to move forward, and that is the thing.
So my only
they don't scar us.
So it's like this, right? One of the things that I found really shocking was when Angelina Jolie came out and talked about it. Here was a leading actress whose parents were both in Hollywood. She was pedigree, right? She was. May I finish, please? May I finish, please? She was pedigree. There was no reason. She did not need to succumb to anybody, right? If it could happen to her, and it could happen to Gwyneth Paltrow, whose parents are also from Hollywood. If it could happen to these big actresses, and they felt like they couldn't talk about it at the time, and they've each talked about how, and I gave up that film, and I didn't do that film, and I walked away from it.
And that made a difference. I told him about something called as rape anxiety. There are lanes in Andheri, Bandra, where a girl alone would be so scared to walk. I won't go inside a lift if there are workers inside, if there are only men inside. That is something that men will never expect. That basics, that Me Too campaign brought out. It was not only about celebrity. For me, it wasn't about celebrity. It had nothing to do with celebrity.
Hi, at the outset, I would like to congratulate Abha for such who is abusing me or who is raping me or trying to play whatever, etc. I go through it because I have a purpose of getting my roles into it. Now today what he is doing is wrong. I have to object that at that stage itself. Is it right? That's what the lady is saying. Is it right? After I have achieved in life, after 20 years of success in my career, maybe because I compromise with my body, with whatever my values are, but I've achieved this, and now to look back and say, oh, this was the guy who did this to me. He's the one who abused me.
I said I have no answers. So,
the audience husband is not, that's a problem.
I'll also have to go to Mrinalini.
He has already retained me, Abha.
See, he's gone there. I made things easier for you.
Yeah, of course.
A huge round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, presenting Stree Dasha or Disha.
I hope that's fine. The shoe.
Abba, we should applause.
By Mikey, so he has to.
It's said that behind every successful man, there's a woman. I'm glad that there has to be a division of work. If same people do the same work together, it may not really evolve into some formidable outcome. We require two people doing two different things so that synergies are being created. So I am happy that Abha accepted my proposal for a division of work. I work in one sector, she works in another. In short, I would be the one who would be doing the inside work, that is more of academic work, and she'll be the one who would take it forward to its logical, practical consequence. And I'm happy that the strategy has worked. In so short a time, she has assumed heights which are incredible, and I think the process is going on. Thank you.
I have no words. I'd like to congratulate you, Abha Aunty. I think it's a fantastic thing that you're doing, because a lot of issues are usually spoken about and just surfaced, and then they completely phase out. But there are very few women who take things through, and you're one of them, and you have the courage to do it. You had the vision, and you're very insightful. And I think we need more women like you. And whenever you need, I think any of us, this has been a very insightful discussion, and everybody has spoken today.
The second series which we do after, we make it bi-monthly, and I hope you all are there. So that we take up real issues and try to take them to the logical conclusion.
Yes, and on that note, since time constraints dictate that we must end this interaction, and it has been very engaging. Thank you to all those who've come forth and discussed their experiences. Thank you, Virenji, for the lovely recitation. And I would now like to ask Abhaji to extend a token of our appreciation to Bhagyashree, Ahana, and Faye.
So she gets the flowers. Because Faye has to remain awake late night. So it's something which is very sweet. And now,
yes, I'd also like to invite Abhaji for the vote of thanks. Yeah.
And we have arranged some very good snacks for you. Parul said Bandra eats only from candy, so the boxes are from candy. So please.
Yeah, please find your mini meals right outside. They're from Candies. So please go and grab your refreshments.
I'm here. Sharon, will you come answer to the honors?
हो गया जान दो हाँ हो गया टेंशन
उनकी सोच बहुत बड़ी है और आई थिंक सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट होती है एक इंसान की सोच। उन्होंने एक चीज़ सोची और उन्होंने ये और आई थिंक उस पर वो अमल कर रही हैं और वो उस पर काम कर रही हैं। आई थिंक वो भी बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट होता है क्योंकि कभी कभी हम लोग बहुत कुछ सोचते हैं लेकिन हम लोग उस पर अमल नहीं कर पाते हैं। आई डोंट थिंक वी कैन यूजली हम लोग थिंग्स को फॉरवर्ड नहीं लेकर जाते हैं। आई थिंक शी इज़ मैनेज टू बी एबल टू एम्पावर अ लॉट ऑफ वुमेन और रूट लेवल पे जाकर औरतों से बात करती हैं और उनके लिए काम करती हैं और वो बहुत बड़ी बात है क्योंकि छोटे शहरों से मुझे पता है कि मैं छोटे शहर से हूँ तो कभी कभी छोटे शहर से जब एक औरत आती है वो बम्बई की औरत की तरह नहीं होती है, वो इतनी वोकल नहीं हो पाती है, वो इतनी आसानी से बात नहीं कर पाती है एंड आई थिंक शी इज़ मैनेजिंग टू डू दैट एंड डूइंग दैट वेरी वेल। और उनकी जो बुक है वो हिंदी में है, प्राइमरीली हमारे पास बहुत हिंदी रीडर्स होते हैं, ज़्यादातर जो बुक्स आती हैं वो ज़्यादातर इंग्लिश में होती हैं एंड अगर मान लीजिए जो औरत गृहशोभा पढ़ रही है उसे अगर ये बुक मिले तो शायद उसका नज़रिया बदल सकता है। दैट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट एंड वेरी गुड जॉब दैट शी इज़ डूइंग। I think Mumbai is very safe. I know a lot of people have been feeling like in the recent times Mumbai has not been that safe, but I think also because a lot of people come to work in Mumbai and that changes a lot. There are lots of people who are coming from like different states to earn a living in Mumbai. Why is it that they are here? Because Mumbai is a city that makes you wake up in the morning and runs to do anything. I'm telling you because I do theatre. Suddenly time just slows down. Everything becomes really slow. So I've seen a certain quality in Mumbai where people really want to come and work. अगर आप काम करने नहीं आए मुंबई में तो आपका आने का कोई फायदा नहीं है बॉम्बे. So there is, every city has its pros and cons, but I think there's more pros to cons in Mumbai.
So do you think does raising a cause such as women empowerment affect the world and affect the mentality of the people?
You tell me, you're a woman, don't you feel there's a difference now in your workplace?
Yeah.
Because if somebody had sexually harassed you say about 10 years ago, would you be able to talk about it openly? Now there is a certain education even in every industry, in every field, in every profession, where women are told, listen, if there is sexual harassment happening to you, report it. So people are becoming more vocal and I think it's a very good time for women to be working in every field right now.
Instead of women को सिखाने से अच्छा we can taught men accordingly कैसे उनको respect करना चाहिए women को.
That's exactly what we were discussing right now and we were saying that this has to start at root level and this has to be beginning there where you talk to your sons and daughters together. हमने लिपस्टिक के टाइम पर भी बहुत बातें की अबाउट women and about how women should be told what to do and what not to do. But I think men, उनकी सबसे बड़ी प्रॉब्लम होती है पेट्रियार्की. जब लड़का पैदा होता है उसको बोलते हैं कि रो मत तुम लड़के हो, ये मत करो तुम लड़के हो, be a man. आप सोचिए कि अगर औरतों पे दबाव है तो मर्दों पे कितना दबाव होता है. मर्दों पे तो मतलब किसी और लेवल पे दबाव होता है. So it's not easy to be a man in a world because आप रो नहीं सकते, आपको घर की सारी responsibilities shoulder करनी है. There's so much about men that I feel bad for them. So I think at root level if you tell a man that be sensitive, be vulnerable and it's okay to cry, I think that's very important to start right in their childhood.
So how does it feel that आप आमा मैम के साथ हैं और इतने अच्छे कॉज के साथ आप जुड़ रही हैं, तो क्या कितनी एक्साइटमेंट थी आज के इस इवेंट के लिए आप?
Actually, I don't know what to expect, but मुझे बहुत मजा आता है जब मैं फेस से मिलती हूँ, जब मैं आभा आंटी से मिलती हूँ. मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगता है उनसे बात करके बिकॉज ये लोग हमेशा कुछ नया सोचते हैं और कुछ नई बातें करते हैं. मुझे कुछ नया सीखने को मिलता है. अगर आपको एक दिन में अगर आपको 10 चीज़ें भी नई सुनने को मिल जाएं, सो आई थिंक आप अपना नज़रिया बदल सकते हैं. एंड आई थिंक दैट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट इन टुडेज टाइम कि आप एक ही चीज़ को लेकर वही बातें नहीं करें. आई हेट हैविंग कॉन्वर्सेशंस अराउंड द सेम थिंग ऑल द टाइम. व्हेन यू कैन हैव अ कॉन्वर्सेशन अबाउट समथिंग विच इज रेलिवेंट टू टुडेज सोसाइटी. आई मीन वी आर ऑन द ब्रिंक ऑफ अ सिविल वॉर, वी आर ऑन द ब्रिंक ऑफ सो मेनी थिंग्स दैट आर हैपनिंग अराउंड अस. इट्स सो स्कैरी कि आप अपने बच्चे को भी अकेले स्कूल नहीं जाने देते हैं. हम लोग उस जमाने में रह रहे हैं. तो आई थिंक इट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टू बी एबल टू एड्रेस दोज इशूज इन टुडेज टाइम्स एंड नॉट turn a blind eye towards those things.
So we media really appreciate you all the people in the industry because आजकल सब बहुत women empowerment में work कर रहे हैं. We talk about Sonakshi Sinha, Sonam Kapoor, everyone are like women empowerment में बहुत work कर रहे हैं. So we all media really appreciate.
Yay! Good. We appreciate you guys that you all are reporting so many issues about all these things and and आप लोगों की वजह से हम लोग को वो पुश मिलता है because लोग हमारी बातें सुनेंगे लेकिन हमारी बातें पहुंचाएगा कौन? आप ही लोग पहुंचाएंगे ना. मीडिया का काम है कि हमारी बातें, हमारी सोच, हमारे विचार आप लोगों तक पहुंचाएं. एंड आई थिंक यू गाइज आर डूइंग अ ग्रेट जॉब एज मीडिया बट यू ऑल शुड टेक रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी इन द राइट वे.
So लिपस्टिक अंदर मैं पुष्पानी भी काफी फेस से निकली थी. वैसे ही अभी पद्मावती भी काफी उसमें. Anything you want to say about it? Any thought?
देखिए किसी को थ्रेट करने से कोई मरेगा नहीं, किसी को थ्रेट करने से कोई फिल्म नहीं रिलीज होगी, ऐसा नहीं होगा। आप चाहे जितना थ्रेट कर लीजिए किसी को, फिल्म रिलीज होगी, वो फिल्म आएगी। और किसी औरत को भांड बुलाना या किसी अभिनेत्री को किसी भी नाम से बुलाना किसी का हक नहीं है। और जो ये कर रहे हैं, आई थिंक द गवर्नमेंट शुड टेक एक्शन अगेंस्ट दोस पीपल। उन लोगों को इतनी आसानी से मतलब खुला नहीं छोड़ना चाहिए। कल किसी के भी माँ या बहन को कल कोई कुछ भी बोल देगा और वो बंदा स्कॉट फ्री जाएगा, आई डोंट थिंक दैट्स राइट। And it's responsibilities of the media and our government to be able to protect actresses, क्योंकि हम लोग स्क्रिप्ट पे काम करते हैं, हमने स्क्रिप्ट बैठ के लिखी नहीं है, जो डायरेक्टर ने बोला वो अभिनेत्री ने किया है। So I don't think it's right for anyone to say anything to any of them. Thank you so much. Thank you.
आप भी आइए।
कैसा लग रहा है आज आभा मैम के साथ इस इवेंट को इतना चार लगाया आप लोगों ने और इतने अच्छे कॉज के साथ आपने?
I think the most important thing is that Abha has been able to convert this book to reach people that do not have the access to women rights. So स्त्री दशा और दिशा उन लोगों तक पहुंचेगी जहां उनको ये नहीं समझ में आता कि हम किसके पास जाए, कैसे समझे कि हमारा हक क्या है। So which is very very important, क्योंकि मेट्रो सिटी में रहते हुए हम लोगों को हमारे फ्रेंड्स से, आभा जी जैसे लॉयर से सब पूछ भी सकते हैं, पता भी लग सकता है, लेकिन जो इंटीरियर्स हैं यूपी, बिहार, एमपी, यहाँ की जो औरतें हैं वो अपने घर तक सीमित रहती है। एंड फॉर देम टू बी एबल टू हैव द नॉलेज ऑफ व्हाट देयर राइट्स आर इज़ अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग। थैंक यू सो मच।
भाग्यश्री, अहाना, आप लोग का जो साथ है, क्योंकि एज लॉयर, एज क्रूसेडर हम जहाँ तक पहुँचते हैं हमारी रीच लिमिटेड है, लेकिन जो स्टार्स, शायद आप जो चीज़ बोलेंगी, जो महिलाओं को उनके अधिकारों के बारे में बताएंगी, उनको ज़रूर याद रहेगा कि भाग्यश्री ये कह रही थी। तो मैं चाहूँगी कि इस स्त्री दशा और दिशा में जो कानून के बारे में चीज़ें बताई गई हैं, आप लोगों को बताएं और उनको अपने अधिकारों के बारे में बताएं, ताकि जो क्राइम महिलाओं के प्रति बढ़ रहा है, छोटे बच्चियों के प्रति जो रेप केसेस हो रहे हैं, मोलेस्टेशन हो रहे हैं, उन पे रोक लग सके। और यही मेरी मिशन थी स्त्री दशा और दिशा लाने की, रण समर को सेटअप करने की, कि मैं महिलाओं को, बच्चियों को न्याय दिला सकूं और उनको सेफ्टी जो शायद पुलिस नहीं दे पा रही है, वो मैं अपनी मेहनत से दिला सकूं। आना,
आई थिंक आप बहुत अच्छा काम कर रही हैं। जैसे मैंने पहले भी कहा कि किताबें छपती हैं और ज़्यादातर अंग्रेज़ी में छपती हैं। बहुत इम्पॉर्टेंट होता है कि उन किताबों को आप उस भाषा में छपाएं जिसमें ज़्यादातर देश पढ़ता है। जब औरत गृह शोभा पढ़ सकती है तो उसके पास उतना समय होना चाहिए कि वो अपने हक और अपने अपने हक के बारे में पढ़ सके। उनको ये पता होना चाहिए कि कानून में ऐसा क्या है उनके हक के लिए जो जिसके लिए वो खड़ी हो सके। कभी कभी हमें पता ही नहीं होता। तो आई थिंक दैट्स व्हाट द बुक इज ट्राई टू से कि ये आपकी दशा है और आप इस दिशा में जा सकती हैं। तो आई थिंक आभा आंटी ने बहुत अच्छी तरह से इस बुक में बहुत सहज तरीके से, बहुत ही सरल तरीके से, बहुत सरल शब्दों में, क्योंकि यूजुअली जब आप कानून के बारे में सुनते तो आप सोचते हैं कि अब ये मुझे समझ में नहीं आने वाला है, ये आईपीएल तो मेरे दिमाग से मतलब ऊपर ही जाने वाला है। बट आई थिंक बहुत सरल शब्दों में उन्होंने ये समझाने की कोशिश की कि ये भाई आपका हक है और आप इस हक पर लड़ सकती हैं अपने लिए। वो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है।
हक जानेंगे तभी लड़ेंगे।
मैम लेफ्ट में
रिकॉर्ड कर लेंगे जैसा हाँ आप
This is I'm Parvati Khan and I'm singing this for Abha because I think she's a fantastic lawyer and I'm fully behind her in everything that she stands for as a woman. Aaja re mere saath ye jagi jagi raat pukare tujhe sun suna de wahi dhun Jimmy 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 aja 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 Jimmy 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 aja aja everybody Jimmy Jimmy aja 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 Jimmy 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 aja 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 re mere saath ye jagi jagi raat पुकार तुझे सुना दे वो है धुन Jimmy 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 आजा 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 Jimmy 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 आजा आजा आजा
See, that's the spirit.
Thank you so much. Come. Yes. Madhu ji, yes, aware. Thank you. Thank you. अच्छा बाइकी तुम भी आ जाओ शी सेज अरे आ जाओ ना दे वांट यू आल्सो कम आ जाओ कोई नहीं आ जाओ दैट्स माय हस्बैंड एंड दे सेड वी वांट बाइकी सर यू वांट अ पिक्चर विद सर ना फोटो ले ले फिर बाइट ले लो अच्छा पहले बाइट कर लो चल हाँ बस चल
सो मैम क्या कहना चाहेंगे आभा मैम के लिए इतने अच्छे कॉज से जुड़ी हैं और इतने अच्छे
Women rights.
वर्क कर रही हैं वुमेन एम्पावरमेंट के लिए व्हाट डू वांट टू से अबाउट
मैं क्या कहूँ आई एम रियली हैप्पी टू नो आभा जी एंड शी इज़ अ फ्रेंड and today we all have to support each other and help each other and people we are all dancers and actors and all that and then here you have somebody who's doing such a groundbreaking work and hardcore I'm really proud that I know her and she's there and I'm here to support her. I wish her all the best. Apart from the work that she's doing, I'm really happy that she's putting it out there for people like us to read and understand how to move forward.
So for you, how safe is Mumbai?
I'm a mother of girls and when I grew up so many years back, I know my mother never thought twice when I went in the lift or when I went to the movies alone with friends. When I went anywhere, my mom just wanted to know where I was. There were no cell phones and they all felt safe. We all felt safe. Today, somewhere in our psyche, we don't feel safe. As a result, we don't give that permission to our daughters to feel safe. Whenever they go out, we are like, isko le jana saath mein, phone karte rehte hum log bar bar. So the fear concept is there in our, even though I must say that we feel kind of protected and protective, but the psyche, you switch on the news, you read the newspaper, you hear all the time about how safe it's becoming, that it is there in our, and we are treating our children are not, like when we grew up so independent. Today our children are not independent and we keep shouting at them that you're not independent, but we don't allow them to be independent because we are afraid. So I don't know how safe is Mumbai if you're asking me, but we have all become afraid because of the awareness, because of the television, because of the news. So I really pray and hope that people like Abha ji, the work that they're doing and our awareness, and I think it's time to shift not just the work-wise, but the psyche-wise, emotional-wise, it's time to shift. So that we, our daughters, our mothers, our wives, our sisters, all of us feel happy and safe.
So what difference do you felt before and now to talk about women empowerment?
At that point, we didn't need to empower our women. We all felt equal. It was not about who is earning and who is staying at home. We all did our role. It was not about who is today in a man's world. We are becoming a man to be an equal to a man. But that is not equality. I think equality is to be a woman in the world and be a woman. And a man has a duty. God has designed it like that. If you see that he has to protect us and we feel we nurture. There is no equality. It's a role we play. But today when the role we play as a woman, we are not feeling safe. We feel that we have to acquire those qualities, almost man-like qualities, to be in a man's world. We keep saying it's a man's world, but it's time to feel that it's not a man's world. It's a human world. It's a world for, and each of us have to do our role. Sometimes we are soft, we are gentle, and that's what we need to be, and we need to feel safe in that space. When I was a baby, there was no question of empowerment. My mother didn't feel the need to protect me. We all felt okay. Today, why do we feel like that? Where is the shift? And why does a woman feel that she has to fight for her rights? We don't have to fight for our rights. We should just be safe and happy and loving and nurturing. And that is where we have to work at.
Thank you so much, Madhu, for being so enlightened about the cause of women empowerment. We always thought that the glamour was not interested, but the very fact that you took out time, spent so many hours searching this place for the cause of Ransamar, for the cause of women empowerment, I think a good beginning has been made, and we will be able to make Mumbai safe. Thank you.